All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the Akim wa Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. All right, and I'm late for this clip. I know some of y'all have seen it, and this shit's funny as hell. All right, and basically, you had this Jake here who this congregation was trying to get him up out his tithe money, man. And this just goes to show you, the churches as a whole are failing, and the only thing holding them up is coons and black women. And once those two sectors are dispersed, that's going to be it for them. All right, the modern day Christian church was set up to keep the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans docile to the so-called white man and docile to the woman. All right, and this video is funny. I know some of y'all didn't seen it. All right, but I'm playing this video. We're gonna get some points, because this is the spirit that churches come in. They just want your money and your servitude, and you're not learning anything. You're not gaining a greater shot at salvation, nor are you, as they say, oh, my relationship with God. Well, you're not gaining a relationship with Him. The pastor is all off in your pockets. All right, and you gonna die of obesity. All right, that's what you get from church: a rebellious woman, obesity, and brokenness. All right.
And getting real in church.
I understand his position. Yeah. I'm getting into the position in front of my face right now.
Yeah, well, the elephant in the room is this, and that.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah, the elephant in the room is that.
Man, I'm alive.
Okay. Well, we have to deal with the elephant in the room and the elephant in the room.
I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm not gonna come up here and give y'all all my money that I make every month. I'm just sorry. I've been foul.
But we're not looking for you to
I put $20 a week, and then sometimes I think about $50.
And now, the law of tithes exists. See, now this is funny. The church will tell you the laws are done away with, but what does tithing go back to? Tithing is in the Old Testament. All right, and we are going to get some scriptures now. Do we, us brothers and sisters here at Great Millstone, do we tithe our elders? Yes. All right, and now, according to the law, it's supposed to be 10%. But we all understand that, we're in captivity. There are certain brothers who literally cannot afford to, let's say a brother makes, $500 a week. His whole check may be already accounted for. Brother on child support, rent. We going through hell. A brother may be able to at least break off something, but somebody may not be able to break off that 10% every single time. Now, granted, if you can, then you should be, but we not, the apostles ain't jumping down nobody's throat. And this goes back, this was the book of Corinthians deals with this, but I'm gonna let it play some more. We'll get some scriptures.
$10 a week is like giving a dollar.
Can I say something? Is that your 10% of your earnings?
That's my business. That's what it is. You get your 10%.
I wrote it down what you made.
Look it up.
I wrote it what you
She
made.
wrote what you make, and see, it does not reach.
Well, I got to just find me. I'm not gonna let y'all attack me.
Well, we know.
I know robbery, strong arm.
Let me.
You ain't gonna rob me, and I'm agree to it.
Well, let's talk about robbery. In the book of Malachi, it talks about, will a man rob God? Say, yea, ye have robbed me in your tithe and offerings. That's where you rob. That's where robbery
Man,
happens.
let me tell you something. I really don't even believe in the 10%. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think.
All right, so let's get some scripture. So now, now he quoted Malachi, right? He quoted the book of Malachi, and I'll just go to that scripture real quick. See, that's funny. Whenever we're bringing out the scriptures, they want to yell and shout in our face how the Old Testament is done away with. But when they're trying to fork you out your money, all right, ain't that some hypocritical ass shit of a church? Malachi 3, and I'm gonna start at I'm gonna see, because that's the verse he quoted. I'll start at verse 7. Malachi 3 and 7. It says, even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Salaki, y'all. I'm on the road. Gotta fight for traffic. It says, will a man rob Yahweh? Oh, this nigga bald. Will a man rob Yahweh? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. All right, so at this time, literally, our people weren't tithing and doing what they're supposed to concerning the priests in the temple. All right, you got to keep in mind, when you're dealing with the history, we had been ransacked by the Babylonians, going through the Persian and Mede captivity. So, it was actually needed, if you will. All right, when you come down, I want to come down to verse. Okay, yeah, we'll keep reading. Verses 10 is where I'm looking for. It's verse 9. Ye are cursed with the curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouses, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And so now here, literally, y'all, if you, and this is something I've noticed, if you stay on top of your tithes, hey, blessings open up. All right, especially, hey, for us, us sincere brothers and sisters in this truth, fuck the people in the world. If you aren't being stingy in terms of helping out brothers when you have it, and tithing, you will see opportunities open up for you if you can afford it. All right, and you do so. Now, if you can afford it and you still choosing not to help brothers out and tithe, then you just a nigga. All right, and the Lord got something. The Lord got something for you. All right, but this whole situation actually, this is coming from the New Testament. This is dealing with the Levitical priest. You jump right here, verse 3. It says what? And he shall sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. So this is actually dealing with the Levites. But according to the churches, the Old Testament is done away with. So what's going on here? You black church. So the Old Testament is convenient for y'all, huh? So it's convenient when you want to get money out of your congregation. But when we're telling you to actually live by that Bible, that's when you want to throw it out the window. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to destroy these churches, man, because their passage, they don't understand the Bible like we do, but they know that some of these verses exist, and they simply choose to ignore it and to only use them to their benefit. The Lord is going to destroy these motherfuckers, man. Now, granted, that guy could probably afford to give more than $20 a week. But goddamn it, that's what he was given, and that's what he was given. So they should be happy. But no, they want to dip in his check, showing you they was trying to coerce him out of money every which way, man. The apostles don't. Hey, we not getting knocks on our doors, for money, because our apostles already understand life is tight for us. We're in fucking captivity, man. James 1:8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right, I'm bringing it back here. These Christians are double-minded. The Old Testament is done away when it's time to keep the dietary law, or when we can deal with having multiple wives, or the fact that we're the Israelites and the chosen and the blessed people. That's the Old Testament. But it's not the Old Testament when you're trying to sucker money out of people, is it? All right. Matter of fact, that issue is also covered in the book of Micah. All right, by the wicked, the wicked that are ruling over our people, right? Micah 3 and 1, it says, and I said, hear I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel, is it not for you to know judgment, who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones? And that's what the wicked leaders of our people do, especially in these churches. They're supposed to know judgment, but they're plucking off the flesh of our people, meaning what? They're not teaching them the truth. They're stripping them of their nationality and their heritage, and they're causing them to lean into idolatry. All right. Hey, when you read in Ezekiel, it tells you the flesh and the bones, and the spirit gonna come back to us by way of this prophecy. Well, spiritually, if you're getting your flesh ripped off you, that means you're being taken away from your heritage. So here it is. They're not teaching you the truth. They got you in there they're teaching you a white Jesus. They got you a woman learning to be rebellious against you, and they dipping in your pockets, it's time to fight, nigga. It's fight night now. I'm not even mad at Jake. I'm not mad at Jake. Let's come back some more.
Leaving the 10%. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think that was man-made.
Now, you know, he's going off and saying that the tithes is biblical. We can easily jump in there and grab it. All right, that's besides the point. But you know, in his theory, this is how you destroy people's faith, if you will. You practice unrighteousness upon them, and then they just stop believing. And there's a lot of wicked of our people who are guilty of that. And these churches, they're so wicked. You know, it ain't no wonder why a nigga stand up and say he don't believe no more. Actually, y'all, there's a Jake that I know, in which there's no excuse for it. But apparently his father died, and then his mother died, and the church was mishandled the funeral so bad. Like, I think they was trying to get extra money. They was doing, basically they mishandled the funeral services of him and his father, of his father and his mother so bad that he basically stopped believing. And also, I believe his father was dying of a cancer. From what I understand, when his father was alive, you know, he was a very active member of that church. And when he was sickly dying, basically he got abandoned. You know, didn't nobody want to help him. They, you know, so his the son, in which, like I said, there's no excuse for apostatizing your faith under any circumstance. But looking at it from both tokens, when you have a wicked organization doing such things like that, it's no wonder a nigga jump up and go run to be atheist.
Damn it. Because back then, when they came up with 10%, ain't nobody had jobs. So where did money come up with 10% at?
Who told you folk didn't have jobs?
Everybody paying everybody with apples and oranges and bananas.
They had jobs. They had livestock. They had
what black folks you know had livestock?
They don't have to be black.
Yeah, half a pig with one leg.
Don't have to be black folk, but black folks had livestock all throughout.
The ones that had sense.
You gotta pay the
You probably had it.
You gonna have to pay the
I
tithes.
didn't have it.
Let me share this with you, because I'm not gonna go back and forth with you about
And I'm not neither.
some money, because the church is well taken care of before you came.
Well, if the well is if that church is well taken care of, why y'all harking this man over that money? If all he wanted to give is $20 a week, be thankful. Shit, you got, you know, shit. Hey man, wicked, y'all, wicked. What is A? Let me get that, man. They stopping away. You know, they're stopping the way to get to the kingdom. I forget how it goes. Let me see if I can find it. Matthew. Let me think. And I want to say it's the 23rd chapter. They stopping Jake from getting to the, you know, they stopping Jake from the keys of the kingdom. All right, ultimately, you know, they're all blinded by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, but you understand what I'm saying. The average person, when they want to try to get closer to God, they go to church, and they realize church is a sham. Here we go. Yep. This is Matthew 23, and I'm going to start at verse 13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. And how do they do this? By the, you know, the many different and various means that the modern day churches preach bullshit and enforce bullshit upon our people. All right, they bar their own salvation, and then, you know, dealing like you're seeing with this Jake right here. You know, a Jake like that, he not gonna want to deal with nothing with the Bible in the church no more. All right, and you know, ultimately he's blinded, but you know, hey, he got his woman turning on him. You know, their story. You know, you can go ask, you can go talk to your uncle and them. Go listen to the stories of how, you know, the church may have been involved in uncle and auntie splitting up, or so and so got divorced because the pastor got into it. You know, you'd be surprised how many of our families then fell because of what some fat black nigga said in the church.
Taken care of before you came. We're trying to allow you to be blessed, because the blessings of the Lord, according to
Give my money away, Pastor ain't gonna bless me.
Okay.
You know, they're referencing to that scripture in Malachi, you know, the 3rd chapter, where, you know, if you are being generous with your bread, you know, your earnings, you know, tithes and helping brothers out, yeah, it will be a blessing to you. All right, but that's if you got it. If you don't got it, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua knows that. You know, if you sincerely don't got it, you don't got it. If you don't have a car, you know, for whatever, you know, let's say your car just broke down, You know, you got to catch the bus to work. You know, all kinds of shit. If you don't got it, you don't got it. The Lord knows that. All right, but in this church, they not breaking that down to him sincerely. They're trying to shame him about his bread, and that's bullshit, and that's wickedness.
You're not giving it away. You're doing what God said do with it. You're not giving it away.
You got a child that's here too?
I don't need that to tell you the
Let me
truth.
share with you what happens normally when people don't tithe. When people don't tithe, normally they'll end up being sick. They'll take it to the doctor. They'll take it to the dentist. And
That's why I tithe.
because God is going
I
to
tithe.
actually get his.
That's why I tithe.
Yeah.
Hey, he's stupid. He said that's why I tell you. He give his little 20.
I think
To him, he gonna get it some way. Somewhere. I'll break down.
Hey, he said he gonna get it some way, somewhere. Whoa, is that a, hey, he hey, man, hey, y'all, you churches are hypocritical. You say we use fear tactics or we're bullies. No, you're bullies. You bullying, you telling this man that God gonna fuck him up if he don't give y'all fat black asses more money. We ain't never said no shit like that over here. Man, what do the scriptures say, man? This is about salvation, man. We don't give a damn about trying to get in a nigga pockets. And some of you other camps is guilty of this. IUIC, all right? Bishop Kanai, I said it. All right? You call that man the pocket. Isaiah 55:1. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yeah, come buy wine without slakia. Buy wine and milk without money and without price. All right. Now, this wine and milk that is being sold for free is representative of the knowledge and the truth and understanding of this Bible. That is what is most important. We don't give a fuck about people's tithes ultimately. And the fact is that the proof of that is that the apostles don't kick people out for not paying tithes. All right, when I first came into this truth, I was still in fucking high school. I didn't have a job. I literally was not in a realm to pay tithes. And when I first got my first couple jobs, I'm still, man, my first job, I was working at a goddamn department store. $10 an hour, that ain't shit. Getting a couple $100 check every 2 weeks. I was staying under my parents, so I still had, I had to break them off. Otherwise, so hey, not everyone that comes into the truth is immediately has enough financial stability to be able to pay tithes and all their other bills without falling under. All right, now once you get to that position and you can, then it would behoove you to do so. All right, but you see what I'm saying, y'all. Getting this understanding is most important. Your salvation is more important. Salvation is more important than getting your congregation's money, and these motherfuckers is guilty of that, bro. All right, freely receive, and I'll let the video finish out, and I'll go get that situation out of 1 Corinthians, because if those members of that church was righteous and noble, then they would have took the Paul route. All right, Matthew 10:8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We freely receive this truth. It didn't cost no money to get on YouTube and learn about our heritage, y'all. So we not finna be wrecking Jake's pockets, man. That's some bullshit, homie. That's some bullshit, homie. All right, straight like that. That's some bullshit, homie. You can't. There was no other way around that. That's some bullshit. Y'all up in there. Granted, that nigga, he probably not gonna wake up to the truth. He's probably not a righteous man. He probably eat foods he don't got no business eating. You see his head lined up. He probably do all things he don't got no business doing. But in that instance, that man is standing on his 2 feet, and he not finna let y'all financially oppress him like that. And I don't blame homie. Y'all ain't teaching him the truth. Y'all ain't teaching him who he is. You ain't taught him the true names of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. I wouldn't have gave you niggas shit. Matter of fact, I would have divorced my wife right there, since she wanna run her mouth too. Shit.
Somewhere. Car breakdown. Hospital.
Well, I bought the car from you.
Where? Is it still up?
Yeah, it's still up.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, it shouldn't break down. I bought it from you. You don't want so many cars.
his wife rebelling against him over this church sit. See me now that right there. This wouldn't have been no, I don't know how long this encounter was, no 5 to 10 minute engagement. As soon as she got up to running her mouth, things would have went differently. I'm presenting some divorce papers and whatnot, and I'm stepping about that relationship, you know. But that's what they causing, man. They causing hey man, come on, yo, that's wickedness. You're not supposed to. You ain't supposed to be causing a woman to rebel from her husband under any fucking circumstance. Under any circumstance.
Stay out of grown man, but you shouldn't even be in here talking about my money. No way.
Your money is our money.
I see.
I put that money there for you and
Now,
me.
part with me grabbing the collection box. I'm sorry, but some had went in there that belongs to me, and it took everything in me not to go in that
What
box.
you saying? You just want to change.
Exactly. And everybody walking around acting like there's no change to be given. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just
What?
I wanted my change. Yes, I wasn't finna put no whole $100 in there. You just put $100 in.
What's the charge about changing this church?
We don't give change back.
I know it. Y'all look like y'all don't get change.
I talked to you about.
Hey, you know, that's some bullshit. Hey, niggas have been killed over less. See, they should actually be glad he's in there comical, because if this was a super hood booger charged Negro, like a lot of Negroes are, he would have came in there blazing and would have got to land fools down. All right, niggas done got killed over less than 100. All right, hey, our people for the most part, we're at the bottom of society. $100 is a lot, okay, for us. Even the one, you know, brothers work, you know, certain brothers do all right. $100 is a lot in Negro land, okay? You have the term hood rich, okay? $1,000, you hood rich. $100 is 1/10 of that. That's a lot of money, all right? And they don't want to give him his money back.
Sonny Folands, we don't get change. When you stick it in there,
I didn't stick it in there.
when your wife stuck it in there.
Well, that ain't my hand.
And let me.
And I feel like I got robbed. I started calling the police.
Let me straight something up right now, brother Terry. That's my sister. Don't be talking to her like that. I don't refuse. I hate that. I've been listening at you talk to her all type of ways. Don't do that no more. You gonna have to speak to me personal.
And you gonna have to speak to me personal. And that right there, y'all, that probably would have flipped my button. That would have flipped haywire button. All right. That man just threatened another man on behalf of his wife, which is his sister, which he don't got no business doing, y'all. That's completely out of fucking order. Once a woman is given off to her husband, he has authority over her whole life and say so. All right, and the proof of that, I get a scripture. Let me see. All right, let me show y'all this. You know, when a woman has a husband, her life force is completely owned by his. All right, and it tells you in the book of Numbers, the 5th chapter. No, not the 5th chapter, the 30th chapter. A woman's prayers even belong to her husband. All right, if a woman makes a vow and her husband doesn't agree with it, the husband can disannul that vow so she don't get in trouble for it. All right, and that's Numbers, the 30th chapter, if y'all want to read. All right, but Leviticus 21:1, and the Lord spake unto Moses, and the Lord said unto Moses, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people, but for his kin. So, you know, defiled for basically coming to the dead bodies, you know, of one of your family members, it says, all right, that is near unto him, that is for his mother and for his father and for his son and for his daughter and for his brother and for his sister, a virgin that is nigh unto him, which hath no husband, for her may be he defiled. So right there, y'all, it says, so as a man, right, if you have a sister and she has not been given off to a husband, then you can, you know, say for instance you're at the funeral, you know, you one of the men putting her in the ground, that's permissible. But if your sister has a husband, this is the law. Now, if we gonna uphold the law, we gonna uphold the law now, right? When your sister has a husband, you cannot come near her dead body when she is passed, because technically she's with a whole nother, you know, she's a part of a whole nother family line now. She's a part of that man's line. All right, he does and deals with that. That ain't none of your business no damn more. All right, So how much more when she's alive is it none of a nigga business? All right, that Jake, hey, this Jake right here was in every biblical right to tell that nigga to shut his motherfucking mouth before he get it shut for him. If you get what I'm saying, all right. Hey, we not pushing no violence. I'm just telling you, you know, hey, we know how our people get down, you know.
So wait, don't do that no more. You don't have to speak to me personal.
That's his sister.
See, folks don't say that stuff you do at the house. You come to the house.
Do it at the house.
Oh, that's his.
I must be sitting it must be looking like I'm sitting there doing jumping jacks or something.
Well,
Ain't no current me. What you saying to me, that's your sister, but this is my wife. And when I'm the man of mine, I pay the bills and mine. I hate we having this conversation in church. But you brought it to my attention. You need to let me know when you pull up next time at my house.
The money go in that box. I put that money in that for
You not need to say nothing else today.
Hey,
Talk to me.
Terry. Now, I'm not going to listen to that no more. Because you done
Hold on.
Don't do that no more. Please don't do that.
Y'all looking like too.
Yeah, we do. We supposed to.
And
You kissing it on.
later on, I see we need to speak to each other on a personal thing.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. With white beaters on.
Hey, you know, so that's it for the video. I'm gonna get a couple more verses, you know. So he said, you know, I ain't gonna let you. And what? So you about to get ready to get up and try to fight this man over his wife? You know, hey, this is the out of order. This is the out of order shenanigans, shit-nanigans that go on in the fucking black church, man. You know, that member of that congregation is way out of line. All right, his sister don't got no business running her mouth to her husband. All right, and she chose to cling to her brothers. You know, and that goes to show you, man, this place is just out of fucking order, bro. You know, I'm not even inciting no violence, but this place is just out of fucking. That shit's completely out of fucking order, bro. It's completely unorderly, dude. You know, so let me get this one more verse. But that's what's going on in the Christian churches while you at it. All right. So 1 Corinthians 9. If anyone in that congregation was upright, you know, they would have said, okay, this guy doesn't want to give his tithes. That's fine. We'll just leave it alone. But they're not upright. All right. All right. Now, Paul dealt with this situation himself in 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter. It says 9:1. Am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Yahushua Hamashiach our Lord? Are not ye my work in the Lord? If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you. For the seal of mine apostleship are ye in the Lord. Mine answer to them that do examine me is this: have we not power to eat and drink? Have we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles, and as the brethren of the Lord and Cephas? Or I only and Barnabas, have not we power to forbear working? Who goeth a warfare any time at his own charges? Or who planteth a vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof? Or who feedeth the flock and eat not of the milk of the flock? So basically, Paul is like, look, y'all, I didn't taught y'all and help bring y'all into the truth. And, you know, y'all can't, you know, he's like, damn, you know, because the churches would send, you know, Paul shekels. You know, Paul lived off the ministry. All right, he did have a craftsmanship, but Paul was so busy teaching, going from place to place. You know, you know, Paul lived off the ministry. And he was speaking to the Corinthians, you know, because the Corinthians was being stingy. And what is he going to say? Say I these things as a man, or saith not the law the same also? For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn. Doth Yahweh take care for oxen? Or saith he it altogether for our sakes? For our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he that ploweth should plow in hope, and that he that thresheth in hope should be partaker of his hope. Says, if we have sown unto spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? So basically, yeah, you know, if we have taught you this truth, is it too much to ask, you know, for a donation every so often? All right, which, you know, now this is this church, right? This is a question that they're posing to him, but what is Paul going to say? You know, We'll go to 12. If others be partakers of this power of you, are not we rather? Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things lest we should hinder the gospel of Hamashiach. All right. So Paul said, hey, you know what? He said, nevertheless. He said, you know what? But we haven't even forced this on y'all. And honestly, I'll say over here at Great Millstone, I don't know what the fuck going on in other congregations. The apostles, and it's a blessing. They're not breaking our backs for our shekels, y'all. And that's a blessing because they easily could, because other congregations do that. You're not finna be in no IUIC and miss 2 weeks of payment. You're not finna be in no IUSBK and miss 2 weeks of payment. All right. That's just what it is. All right. Hey, matter of fact, the guy who died, the man who called himself the Comforter, Tazadakia, they was trying to, from what I understand, they was imposing double tithes, 20%, which is ultra wicked. I would have got up and left that day when I heard that come out. All right. So let me jump down. Matter of fact, I'll read through. Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple, and they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar? Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things that it should be so done unto me. For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glorying void. All right, so right there, Paul said, look, y'all, now according to law, the Levites lived off of the tithes, y'all. Literally, tithes wasn't just to the church. The actual Levites spent their life in the temple and orchestrating in the laws and ordinances of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai for the other Israelites, in the cities. Therefore, they needed them tithes to be able to survive and eat and whatnot. Okay. And so, but Paul said, you know what, y'all, I'm not even going to sweat it, because if I did sweat it, now y'all can basically call me, a money grubbing bastard. All right. And Paul was like, you're not going to make my glory and void. He said, it's better for me to die than to, basically Paul kept it about spiritual business. He just kept it on edifying. All right. So that's about it. This was a longer video, but this is a damn shame, man. This is a shit that goes on in the churches, all right? We give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakorash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations. So I'd like to Akim Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.